You know, when mail was coming in at 9:30, it made sense for me to get started at work as soon as the parts would come in. And so I kind of planned on doing that today. I didn't have a lot to do. I really didn't. I got to change carburetor on that and put the bar and everything back together on that. That was it. And then I had a pressure washer that needed a little soap dispenser tip put on, which I did do that. But you figure when the parts get here at 11 o'clock, I mean, we're getting up towards lunchtime. You know, potential customers are starting to call. Text messages are coming in. I probably had 2 or 3 calls a day, 5 or 6 text messages of sorts, whether through messenger or text or whatever. Just regular business, you know, things you would expect. I'm not complaining about it. But by the time you get started at 11 o'clock to put parts on, you know, it's 2 or 3 o'clock and you're still not finished because you got all those other things to contend with. Now, if I had gotten started at 9:30 and I had all those other things to contend with, everything would be finished. So I decided, you know what, I'm not going to work on it today. It's pretty hot today, and I decided I was going to push this off to tomorrow. I didn't even expect these parts till tomorrow, to be honest, so Amazon got them out quickly. That was good, but that just meant that the Postal Service was going to haul around, and they did. So, but, you know, I'll jump out here in the morning, 6:30, just at daybreak, and I'll have these things done within half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I don't expect any problems. So, just the Postal Service is just so frustrating. You know, I get a UPS package tomorrow, and I know they'll be here at 1 o'clock, and that's okay. I know that they're supposed to be here at 1 o'clock. I don't plan my day for them to come out in any earlier, so I don't even bother with them. When they get here, I just put the part on the counter and continue doing whatever I'm doing. So, got a good review on Google today. I was really happy with that. I had a John Deere here yesterday, you will remember, and a pressure washer. And that part for the pressure washer came in. And boy, I tell you, they were quite excited. They gave me probably the largest tip I've ever received before. And, you know, I never expect a tip. And so when he said, oh, we'll give you a little tip, you know, it's usually just a rounding error. You know, it's $15. Well, here's 20 type of thing. They just round up because they don't want me to have to go cash that $5. But this was significant. So, anyway, so they left a Google review, which is very unusual. I don't have many of those. Oh, may as well take the trash down. So, I'm trying to understand the mindset. You know, business in this town is, for lawnmower repair, is not what I expected. I really expected to be a lot busier than I am. You know, you go over to the bigger towns, and they're booked 3 to 6 weeks. And I'm not booked at all. The only booking I have is trying to get parts in the house. So, I'm trying to figure out why I'm not so busy. Well, on the other hand, what confuses me is when you get a guy who calls who's 50 miles away and he says, I'll be over tomorrow. 50 miles. I don't even understand that. Hold on, I've dropped the trash can. I'm gonna have to figure out how to put you down for a second. Is this gonna work? I don't know. It'll work long enough, I think. Yeah. Now, I've had bad experience with people. First time somebody said they come from that same town, he at least gave me an indication, although I didn't catch on to the indication right away, that he was going to be a problem customer. Says he had to push more and he needed it fixed, and he accidentally put diesel gas in it, and it doesn't run. Well, that was fine. Yeah, sorry about that. So, but I said, oh yeah, it just needs a carb cleaned out. No big deal, I can do that. Well, he doesn't bring it over right away. About a month later, he calls me back and says, yeah, I'm going to bring that mower over now. He says, I said, okay, well, can I ask why you don't take it over to such and such place? And he started listing all the mechanics that he's had problems with, all the way from here to that town. Well, I didn't really pay attention to the reasoning or anything. Oh, okay. So he brings it over, and he's already taken the carburetor off and put it back on. I know what he did. So I call him and I ask him, has anybody had this carburetor off? Oh yeah, years ago I had it over this other mechanic. They took it off and fixed it for me and put it back on. Well, that means years ago it stopped running. There was an O-ring missing, and it was been sucking so much air, there's no way that thing, well, it didn't run when it was here. It wouldn't start. It was just sucking air, and the only way it would have ran is on choke. So I buy a new carburetor, put it on, and then I realize it needs a choke. It's a thermostat, goes on your muffler. So it takes about 90 seconds for that choke to actually open up. And I already know that I'm being screwed on this job. So he doesn't want to spend any money on it. When I called him and said I'm going to put a new carburetor in, it doesn't need a new carburetor. You know, one of those kind of things. So I knew that I was going to lose money on this job. So I decided not to even spend, I forget what it was, 40 bucks for that thermostat. Because I knew I was going to lose money on it. So anyway, I bring it over, you know, I call him up, I tell him it's done. And I explain to him that the missing O-ring and everything that I've done to it. Okay. So he gets here and I start it for him. And I explained to him that it's going to take 90 seconds for it to warm up, for that choke to open up. And I don't know, we're 10 seconds into it and he says, he's just shaking his head. You can tell he's aggravated. It ran better than this before I put the diesel in it. And I thought, no, you're lying. It didn't. If another mechanic worked on this years ago without that O-ring, it hasn't ran good at all. I'm surprised you ran it. So that's what my brain was saying, that he's lied to me somewhere. So I told him to give me my money for the carburetor, get out of here. I won't take the labor, and never come back. So the next guy, now he lives closer by. Actually drove by his house yesterday, or a couple days ago, because I had to pick up another lawnmower. Drove right by his house. So he comes by and says, or he calls and says, yeah, I drive, and it was 100 miles away to get to a mechanic, and I just figured out that you are close by. So he brings me a push mower, or a walk behind, and it's a fairly nice one. It's older, but it's nice. Hasn't been used a lot. And he explains that it's his neighbor's, and that he's going to authorize $200, and that he's going to pay me, you know, the whole thing. So $200, that's what I was up to. So same situation. In this case, I cleaned the carburetor, and it needed a new thermostat for that muffler. Same similar problem, whatever. I didn't buy a carburetor, but I cleaned it. And we got up to 170 bucks because that thermostat is pretty expensive. But there's no reason to wait the 90 seconds since I had the $200 and I was way under the $200. Well, a few days later, he shows up. I'm not done with it. It's running, but I still get that 90-second delay. So he shows up in the passenger seat of another guy. And the other guy in the driver's seat says, that's my lawnmower. And he says, okay, so what's the price we're up to? And I tell him, and he just goes ballistic. Well, of course I do too, but he just goes ballistic. I'm not paying that much. And I said, well, sir, we already had an agreement for $200. And he looks in the car. Did you tell him he could spend $200? And the guy said, no, I told him to call if it went past $200. I'm really thinking, what is the difference? My cutoff was 200 bucks no matter what. I'm not there. So, you know, that's another person who is going to drive a lot. I don't understand that kind of thing. So I get a call today from somebody, and I'm going to be cautious because the first thing he said is, this is my neighbor's. He's let it sit for 4 or 5 years, probably needs the carburetor cleaned. It's a pressure washer, generic. Okay, but why are you driving all that way? 50 miles. That's a 100-mile round trip just to drop it off, and then you got to pick it up. I'm going to have to be cautious with this because it's not his. He is going to be my customer. I'm going to make that painfully clear. You are my customers. I will not deal with anybody but you. But I can almost bet you I'm going to get scammed on this somehow. Well, I'm almost positive. It already sounds fishy. Why drive 50 miles to have your neighbor's pressure washer fixed? I asked AI, and AI gives the same answer all the time. These other shops in these bigger towns are out 3 to 6 weeks. And I know they are. That's right. But you telling me that I'm the only guy in 50 miles that can work on it? It just seems unimaginable to me. So we'll see. I'm sure I'm going to get scammed. You know, take it over to the little town. That's the thing, is everybody in those areas are just uber rich. So you're going to take this little town and then you're going to try to scam the guy who doesn't make any money. So, well, I can see that I wore the wrong shirt again, so I'm going to have this blue blotch across the bottom of it. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video over to my other channel. Really appreciate it. Go check it out. So hope I can inspire you not to get scammed, so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.